What's going on, everyone? My name's Tim Williams. Today, it is Wednesday, July 21st. We have two slates to break down today. This first video, we're going to cover that early slate. We got 6 MLB games on DraftKings to break down. If you are new to the channel, welcome. What's going on? My name's Tim. You like baseball, you like DFS, you are in the right spot here. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. And let's just jump right in here. We got 6 games here. Orioles taking on the Rays. First game up, 8 over under here. Rays favorited. Aiken taking on Waka here. Aiken 5.9K, very cheap salary with these pitchers here. 19.2% strikeout rate, 43% hard contact rate. Both pitchers kind of profile a little bit similarly. They don't get a ton of ground balls. And then on the other side with Waka, a little bit better strikeout rate here, 22% strikeout rate, 47.6% hard hit contact given up. Right-handed batters have a 272 ISO against him so far this season. I like the upside with Waka here. Pitching in general, full disclosure, on this early slate is not very good. So honestly, guys like Waka and Aiken might be just the pivot play you're going to need because there's some high powered offense. I think in this slate, we might just need some salary savings and pray that, these guys kind of go 6 innings, right? And then on for the bats with the Orioles, don't have a ton of interest here. Santander will be my top priority at 2K. He's just so cheap, kind of profiles all right here. So just kind of banking on that like point per dollar value. Mullins at 4.6, kind of threw him in there. 399 WOBA, 231 ISO against right-handed pitching. I know he's a lefty and the kind of matches up here, but he's been hitting right. He's pretty good all season. Hayes 2.6, kind of just a punt value play for me. And then on the other side with the Rays, Franco 5.2, kind of pricey, right? We don't have a ton on him, but he has looked pretty good so far as a rookie. Rosarina 5.1 has the power upside. The two I think that I would get to on the Rays here, but there's just too much upside in some of these other games here. So kind of interested in the pitching. I hate to say that, but then some of the value bats here, but moving on. Next, we have the Padres Braves 8 over under here. We might see some showers in this game a little bit later. This is also the first of a double header, so it is a shortened game. Paddock taking on Mueller. Paddock 7.4K, 21.6% strikeout rate, 45% ground ball rate. So he's really kind of relying on those grounders. He really just hasn't been all that great this year. 42% hard contact, just hasn't really looked all that great or reliable for DFS. And then on the other side, Mueller, 9.5K, pretty pricey to get there. He does have a ton of K upside here. His control is what I really worry about. Going against the Padres, I'm not sure that's something I want to kind of take that chance on. As far as bats go, Pham at 3.3K, I think is just a clear one-off salary savings, kind of high upside guy is going to hit the top of the order. Tatis at 5.7, Machado 4.6. I get it. I don't mind getting there. The Padres in general as a lineup take a ton of walks. And like we said, Mueller does have the ability to walk a lot of guys, but it is a 7-inning game. There might be some rain here. So I just might fade this game in general. Worked out for me yesterday. And then on the Brave side, Freeman 4.7K. That's just really cheap for the power upside he gives. I think he's about a K too cheap. 254 ISO versus right-handed pitching. Paddock's not the most reliable pitcher either. So Peterson 2.6, nice point per dollar value. Will probably hit leadoff. Has that power upside here though. Next, we have the Mets taking on the Reds, 10.5 over under here. Stroman taking on Hoffman. Mets favorited. Stroman 10.4K. I think the salary is just way too high here. I mean, he hasn't really looked all that great towards the end of the first half of the season. 19.6% strikeout rate. Just not a lot of upside right there, right? In DFS, we're looking for those strikeouts. 54% ground ball rate. So that's just who he is. He's getting a ton of grounders, really limiting the fly balls 21.5% of the time. Tough matchup here. Reds 4th in home runs against right-handed pitching, 6th in OPS against righties as well. So I'm kind of off Stroman here. Hoffman 6.4K coming off the IR, 5.74 xFIP. Don't really trust him here. Gives up a ton of bad contact. 20.7% strikeout rate. It comes with a very high walk rate at 14.4%. Really, really love the Mets bats here, and I will it's not even that they're like that expensive either. Nimmo at 4.4 leading off. He's looked great. Alonso 5.9, Conforto 3.5, really coming around. Davis 4.7. I could live with or without him. Villar 4.4, I think has some sneaky upside, kind of hitting toward the bottom of the lineup. Guys like, Smith and some of the other lefties besides Nimmo, like they're kind of going to be hitting right in the middle of the order here. McNeil and Smith. I don't mind fading those two guys to get a little bit different because I do think the Mets are going to be somewhat popular. And then on the other side with the Reds, Votto at 4.5, Winker 4.1, India 4.1, really cheap. I love those three up top. If I'm going for a full stack, Naquin's really, really cheap at 2.3. It's not going to hurt you. Aquino, I prefer him against lefties, but I don't mind him in the spot because he does have a ton of power upside at 2.2. Next, we have the Royals and Brewers, 9 over under here. Brewers are favorited here. Keller taking on Laurel. Keller 6.9K. Don't have a ton of interest in him. 18.6% strikeout rate. Very high walk rate at 10.6%. He's a guy that needs to get those grounders, 48% ground ball rate here. Gives up a ton of hard contact, 43.8% here. Tough matchup against the Brewers. Brewers are 9th in home runs and 5th in on-base percentage against right-handed pitching this year. So I definitely have interest in the Brewers bats. Laurel on the other side, 8.7K. The salary is just too high, right? 22% strikeout rate, 10.4% walk rate. That's just a little too high. 36% hard contact. So that's not so bad. I think he's a better real life pitcher than in DFS. But the matchup here, I don't like. Royals 29th in strikeouts against left-handed pitching. So that's kind of a tough matchup. Royals bats, I don't mind. Actually really like Perez as a one-off here, 5.3K. If you're taking some cheap pitching, you have the salary to pay up for some of these guys. Perez, I do like, just a full-on spend up at catcher, 556 ISO, 450 WOBA against left-handed pitching. So I do like him as they one-off. Santana, I think he's in the picture too. We have to talk about him, 4.9K, 364 WOBA. What I really like about him is he doesn't strike out a ton, 8.3% strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching and 9.4% walk rate here. So Santana in the mix. And then on the other side with the Brewers, a bunch of guys who, you don't have to pay a ton of salary for. Adames, Garcia, or Narvaez, Wong, Yelich at 4.4 is really cheap. Peterson, I don't mind at 4K. So I don't mind mixing some of those bats in. I think they're in a really good spot here. Next, we have the Mariners and the Rockies, 12 over under here. Some rain possible in the afternoon here. I don't think anything too crazy, but it's 90 degrees out in Denver. Flexen and Middleton kind of sharing the duties here. Middleton at 4K, going to be the opener, maybe goes 1 or 2 innings. I don't like that idea. Flexen's a guy I don't mind taking some shots on in certain matchups, but certainly not in Coors against the Rockies here with the weather in the middle of the summer. And Flexen, 15% strikeout rate, giving up 40% hard contact, just not a good environment for him. And then on the other side, Gomber coming back, 6.2K, really nice price on him. It says that they're going to just not have a pitch count on him, which is kind of intriguing. 24.3% strikeout rate here, 4.00 xFIP, 46.5% ground ball rate. He has been pitching well. He has pitched well at home. We've seen it, but I just don't like the fact that he's coming off the IR right into Coors. I know the Mariners are kind of dead last in a lot of these offensive categories, but they do have a lot of power here. Haniger, 5.6K. I do have some interest, 3.323 ISO versus left-handed pitching this season. Seager at 4.9, nice price for him. I know it's a lefty-lefty matchup, but it doesn't matter. 216 ISO versus left-handed pitching this season. He offers a lot of power in Coors. France, I don't mind if you're trying to get like a 3-man stack and you want to round it out, 4.1K. Not the best matchup for him, but he offers a ton of power. And then on the other side, Blackman is my favorite Rockies bat today, 4.8K. McMahon in the mix, 4.9. Crone, Story. The price is kind of up on those guys. Hampson as well. But I think the Rockies have a nice favorable pitching matchup today at home. Nice weather besides the rain, so keep an eye on that. But next and final game here, 6 out of 6. If you're watching, thank you so much. Make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out a ton. Pirates taking on the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks favorited here at home. Kranick taking on Bumgarner. Kranick 7.9K. I just don't like the salary on him. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. Diamondbacks had a huge game yesterday. It's his third start this season. He's giving up a lot of bad contact to left-handed batters. Diamondbacks have a lot of lefties that they can throw his way. Bumgarner 10.1K. Price is really high on him, similar to Stroman. I don't know if I have a ton of interest. It's kind of a risk, right? If I'm taking a risk at Bumgarner for 10K, why don't I just take a risk on like Michael Walker or something like that? Save me some 4K and pay up at some of these hitting positions. Bumgarner, he's giving up a ton of fly balls here, near 46% of the time, giving up a lot of hard contact, 42%. He did come off the IR, pitched one good start so far. So he's kind of interesting. If you're building multiple lineups, I think you have to kind of consider him, but Pirates bats in play. Reynolds 3.9K. I like him. He offers a lot of upside as far as power goes. Hayes at 4.3. Frazier, if you're kind of stacking. Nagowski is a nice punt. I mentioned him yesterday on yesterday's video. He hit a home run, 2.3K. Nice salary saver that right there. I don't think there's going to be ownership on him, but mainly it's just Reynolds and maybe Hayes. But interesting kind of, stack on the Pirates side, especially if you're trying to attack ownership with Bumgarner. And then on the other side with the D-backs, Calhoun 2.6K. I expect him to be somewhat popular if he is in the lineup here because of the price. Rojas 5K, Escobar 5.8, Smith 3.6. Some of the lefties I really like here. Kind of an interesting matchup. Pirates don't have the best bullpen, so definitely have some interest on the Diamondbacks side. So that is it. I think there's some clear stacking options. Mets being my favorite, I think, on this one, and also the Reds too. But that'll do it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. I have a link right in the description below. Best of luck to you. I will have another video a little bit later in the afternoon covering the afternoon game. So be sure to keep an eye out on that. Take it easy. Peace.